What's good, family? What was I made for? Ancient question or just a Billie Eilish song? I think you know, just like I know, and it's far more than a Billie Eilish song. Something that's been asked for ages. Something that's been navigated and partially explored through the paradigms and the many superstitions that this experience provides for us along the way. Last time you were honestly yourself, when was that? No, I don't mean like the last time you were performing, the last time you were pretending to be yourself, the last time you concocted a strategy and carried it out in hopes that you would be applauded. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, not chained to your own thoughts, not chained to the voices in your head that you believe to be your own thoughts, not chained to your reactions and the acceptance of others, but free to genuinely be yourself, absent-minded of the interpretations of others as they intake your authenticity. When is the last time you've seen that self, the only self that truly exists? I'll wait. I need to catch up with my notes anyway. Billie Eilish song starts with the lyrics, "I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now what I was made for." I propose to you the last time that you were an expression of your true desires, unbridled. You were in your adolescent years excited about the cartoon character undies that you weren't even ashamed to whip out in public and show off. "Grandma, look at these. Look, they got Spider-Man." You ain't have no shame. You were totally not concerned with others' rules and expectations. You were you. You were discovering daily through your mistakes, largely. I mean, you took other information in and you considered it, for sure. But typically you didn't act or not act because of something they said. Influenced? Yes. So what happened? Dang, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. To be honest, you lost it way before that. In preschool, you was the kid, homie. What happened to you? Same thing happened to all of us. What changed? How does a 7 or 8-year-old child set the trajectory of their destiny unbeknownst to themselves and remain locked in it well into their senior years if the appropriate knowledge to escape the self-laid trap isn't sought out from the inside out? What kind of experience is this? I mean, as far as we know, as far as we say down here, a 7, 8-year-old, that's just a child. That's just a baby. You got to protect the babies. The first misidentification, the first one that you ever encountered, that you ever unraveled for yourself, that you ever applied to yourself, stuck it on yourself, just like that. The first misidentification that you ever partner with, let me get my finger out your face so you'll listen to me, because I don't listen to nobody that's be pointing in my face. The first misidentification that you ever partner with started an avalanche on the inside of you. And we live inside of a strictly coded society that has a ton of social laws, unwritten, that has yellow taped certain words and conversations out of a commitment to ignorance, which always comes with its illusionary companion, best bud, fear. Ever since the first time you adopted a label for yourself, you began programming yourself with the illusionary toxic based concept that you have the capacity and the capability to decide for yourself who you are, who you have been, and who you will be. even if it directly opposes what the Creator says to be true about you. You think you can contradict the Word of God. you think you can go against God's will for your life. You think that you can run from the call. That's foolish. If God is calling your phone, you're going to answer. When the eye is not lifted in consciousness, we are trained by the lowly shadows of the physical plane. I'll show you. We have parents, earthly parents, that procreated and initiated the process of the development of our greatest obsession, our bodies. And they had plans for us. They spoke those plans over us. They tried their best to keep us aligned with their plans. They were even willing to pay for the majority of the execution of those plans. You got cut out of the provision because you wanted to make decisions for yourself. If you would have just stayed over there where the people wanted you to be at, they would have kept sending you them Cash Apps, them Zelles, and them other little apps that people like that live their life on. Through this earthly relationship with our parents, we learned that being controlled and directed was not when we felt our best. So we often kicked and pushed, like Lupe Fiasco, against our earthly parents' guidance for the pursuit of our own happiness. And being that this is how we spend our adolescence in the dark, we assume that the spirit realm and the higher levels of consciousness must function like the lowly plane we have operated on. But the thing about words is they can be deceptive. So one is called to utilize them, but never to rely on them for understanding. Lean not to your own understanding, please, because it will fail you 100% of the time. Because if we go off the wording alone, laced with ignorance, and we say, as above, so below, with no recollection of above, we are tempted to assume that below must be an indication of the inner functions of above. We quote stuff like this from the Kabbalion and from other sacred books and ancient texts that are constantly misinterpreted and constantly broken down and explained to mean things that they just did not pertain to. But anyway, as above, so below. Do you have any recollection when you first began your pursuit into the realm of truth and knowledge and understanding and the return of voyage back to original form? Do you have any recollection, conscious recollection of your origin, of above, which is really within? Do you remember what it was like to be connected to the higher consciousness where you originated in thought? Do you remember? No? Okay then, so what does it mean to you when it said, as above, so below? The first thing you have to do is return back to original form, return back to knowledge, go and submit yourself to the one who has been trying to show you the way from within, but while you've been listening to all of these people around you. Listen. This common misconception that if it is true, as above, so below, it must also be true that below is an indication of the inner functions of above. This common misconception drives 100% of our madness. Argue all you want to. I'll show you. And I'm reading. I got some notes tonight. You feel me? I got some notes tonight. And I get these to y'all some type of way. I just felt like that was like the responsible YouTuber thing to say. Post it down in the comments. Post it down in the description. Like, subscribe, all of that. I'd be forgetting. In the illusionary lowly realm of shadows and figures, all is but an imagination that becomes a part of the nation of you. You, your own universe. Your own universe in the illusionary lowly realm of shadows and forms is nothing but a collection of pictures that you have harbored, that you represent to yourselves to remind yourself what it is that you're looking at, even if you're in front of something you've never seen before. I would run it back, but just double tap on the screen and let the screen do it. can't trust the transcript because I'm from Florida, so the transcript probably isn't accurate. Probably was all one word down there. So I will say it again. In the illusionary lowly realm of shadows and figures, all is but an image that becomes a part of the nation of you, your own universe. Your own universe is a collection of pictures that you continually represent to yourself to remind yourself what you're looking at, even if it's your first time seeing it. In the illusionary realm, people, places, and things are left up to you to interpret, and your fixed labels, which is always a projection of your own past, becomes the very filter of which you view stimuli. Regardless of truth, what you say goes. And that is why you love the lowly, nasty, bottom-feeding realm, because it is the only place that you get what you have always been after since you was a little boy, since you was a little girl. You've always wanted to live somewhere. You've always wanted to discover a place that you could get everything you wanted, even if what you wanted didn't make sense, even if what you wanted didn't want you back, even if what you wanted was not for your own benefit. You've always longed for the privilege to freely destroy yourself. You've always longed to have a savior while also simultaneously begging to have the privilege to save yourself. And you've been trying to save you from everybody but the true attacker. You've been trying to save you from everyone except the number one main problem. Who you think you are. Also inside of the illusionary realm, separation exists because separation itself is an illusion. It is nothing other than what you've made it by definition in the darkness. It's real to you. And you go through individualistic experiences, which all call you to see one truth and return to the divine collective. There are multiple routes, multiple options, multiple views inside of every situation in the illusionary realm. Because the illusionary world is based on vain images left up to your interpretation. On this realm, there is no such thing as right or wrong. There is no such thing as good or bad. Because of the fluid nature of this realm, and even if it is what it appears to be, there's always the narrative within someone, somewhere, ready to make it seem like it's not. And who are you and I as the carriers of the same carnal nature that led to whatever blunder of another that we have witnessed to judge them for their misstep? There is always a decision to make, and we are free to choose based on whatever method we choose to select our choice, never realizing that all the complex considerations and calculations computed in these decisions are the very act that reduces your vision down to a peephole of your past. And everyone has an opinion based on superstitions, religion, popular teachings, social programming, and their own undisciplined imagination roaming in ignorance. These things are all true about the illusionary realm where we often find ourselves hanging out. Nothing is real in the imaginary, illusionary realm. So you literally have the freedom to call things whatever you want. No matter what you call it, it is nothing other than what you have made it. But this is not true freedom. Right here, you're looking at the full picture of what free will consists of, which people talk of as if it's some type of prize or some type of grand possession. It is, for one, the evidence of a sincere love from your creator, who could have wired you and programmed you the way Elon Musk does his robots, to do no more than you have been told and to stick to the script. While it would behoove you to submit to the ways of your creator, you have not been confined or forced to do such. If you would like to roam around realms seeking who and what you can devour, then you have the free will to operate on the lowest realm of consciousness depicted by the mythological creature known as Satan, the fallen angel, who set his gaze on himself rather than his creator, and because of it was sentenced to the lower realm to exercise the full extent of his choice. You don't want to go down there and do that. You don't want to go and see that everything is vain and everything is but a passing imagination, and everybody that you thought worshiped with you and was worshiping you is gone. Which of these things are true in the higher realm of consciousness? Which of these things are true when it comes to truth? Where the state of perfection is our aim, reached by meditation and the provision of the master teacher within? The short answer is none. None of the things that we just said are true of the illusionary realm are true of truth and the higher consciousness in the realm that we are called to set our eye and our attention. In the realm above, ran by the law of truth, people, places, things have fixed identities and purposes, unalterable by men and women's free will. He or she can choose to call it something else. But in this realm, fact and falsehood are not subjectable, but rather based on right knowledge. There is no wrong knowledge in this higher realm. So it's not a matter of right or wrong. It's just right knowledge and nothing. There simply is one universal knowledge. Any varying perspectives on this can be attributed to still operating on the lowly planes where shadows and forms distort perverted imaginations. Everything in the spirit realm is real, just like everything in the imaginary, illusionary realm is false, fake, nothing. Everything in the spirit realm is real. If it were not, then it would have been burnt up during the Exodus, the pruning of the vine, the cultivation of the new mind, the out with the old, in with the new. No matter what you call things on this realm, the identity is fixed by the Creator. Everything is eternal, the way everything below is temporal. Understand, as above, so below refers to design, not delusion. This world below is a mirror of the world above in truth, but from the unsettled dimension, all is left up to you to interpret and define. So as you have entered a chaotic, idiotic, lowly state, this is often what you find to be the contents of the judgment of the reflections you ignorantly analyze as outer entities. You call people what you are. That's just a sophisticated way of saying the things that you call people apply to you. I know you are, but what am I? That's the third grade way of saying what I just said. All judgments return back to the sender, as one cannot know beyond his or her own interpretations, which is based on the contents of his or her own experiences and paradigms, as the truth of these things is beyond your scope of view in the realm of shadows and forms. Remember, in the realm of shadows and forms, in the realm of illusion, in the realm of imagination, you are incapable of seeing and identifying the truth of another or yourself or your Creator. All is running through the illusion of your past. As above, so below is true. You've been missing the truth of this because you have changed the wording of the truth ever so slightly, which altered your entire viewpoint. You have held the erroneous expectation that as above, so below, and so goes for my ego too. The universal truth of as above, so below covers the truth. It does not and cannot be applied to your illusions, other than above, your illusions are nothing forever and harmless. And below, I know it don't seem like it, but your illusions are forever nothing and harmless. By mind, we mean God, the universal principle of causation. Nothing takes place without God. Nothing takes place without mind, which includes all principles. Mathematics is a principle that in its field illustrates the exact, inexorable laws that are one with the manifestations of God or mind. There is nothing but mind and thought. I say it again. There is nothing but mind and thought, principle, and its mode of expression. The things made or externalized are simply effects. What caused it? Mind. What's mind? God. And of themselves would quickly pass away. But mind and thought are one and inseparable. Mind and thought are one and inseparable. The Father and the Son are one and what? Inseparable. I thought so. Cool. Self-existent and ever active, the cause of all that appears is mind. Mind is self-existent. God is self-existent. Mind is ever active. God is ever active. Mind is the cause of all that appears. God is said to be by Moses the cause of all that appears. All things were brought forth by God said. Right. So you could easily exchange Moses' words of all things were brought forth by God said with all things were brought forth by mind thought. Right? Too much for you? It's okay. Ain't no pulling back here. Cut the video off if you ain't with it. Told you this wasn't church. This wasn't religion. So we're to do what? To set our minds on the things above, not on earthly things. Thoughts lowered in vibration to the level of sense perception. Can you get that real quick? What does the metaphysical Bible, the metaphysical dictionary say things is defined as? Things, tangible things, like this phone that I can't grab because it's recording right now. I'm so excited I want to grab it and throw it and be like, do you hear this? Do you see it? Metaphysical meaning of things. Thoughts. Things are thoughts. The origin of things is thoughts. The first word of the definition of things is thoughts. Your thoughts matter. Black Lives Matter. Your thoughts matter, bro. You start thinking different and people will start moving different with you and with each other. Anyway, things, thoughts lowered in vibration to the sense of sense perception. My bad. Thoughts lowered in vibration to the level of sense perception. The thoughts are in a higher level of consciousness. The thoughts are called down into the lower level of consciousness where sense perception is, and the things that appear are the formulations of man's ideas of himself and God. Man, y'all can't be hearing this. You cannot be hearing this. The things that appear are the formulation of man's ideas of himself and God. You want to know what you really believe of God and believe about yourself? Look at your life. Shut your mouth and stop talking about what you done read. Stop talking about what the pastor said. Look at your life. If it's a bunch of lack, a bunch of inconsistency, a bunch of insufficiency, a bunch of separation, a bunch of just illusion after illusion after illusion after illusion, and you want to tell me that you basing your life on truth, you want to tell me that you living centered on the square, shut up. Your life is showing you what you have called to yourself in your thought world. Your thoughts, your things are based in your thoughts. Your thoughts become your things. Come on. Back of everything is a thought. Behind everything is a thought. I know you don't like that because you like to blame people and you like to judge people and point fingers. I know I be pointing too, but I be pointing like out of excitement. I'm not like pointing like you. Because everything that's true about you and your ignorance and darkness is true about me first. And the only way I can identify it and help you diagnose it is because I had it shown to me first. Back of everything is a thought. Still, the senses and you will perceive the thought behind the things. Listen, I almost missed that. Catch the metaphysical advice for your life. Still your senses. Tithe the 10% of your hyperactive, over-emotional, super analytical mind. Return to the garden, the 90%, the Garden of Eden that you were given to cultivate and to keep. Still the senses, and you will then be able to perceive the thought that lies or rests behind the things. Your whole life you've been looking at things. Don't you want to be able to see the thought that originated the thing so that you can better understand the thing and how to interact with the thing or the person?